Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the last part of the chapter 5, that air fuel injection, a very short and brief one. Now, we have studied in chapter 4 regarding the fuel. Now we have studied regarding the air, and we have studied the air fuel mixture which is coming in. Now, just to give you the overall picture, what is happening, I have made this slide and I will explain to you. Now, starting from here, we have a fuel tank in your vehicle. Somewhere you can divide the vehicle in three parts. First is the engine compartment, then we have the passenger compartment, and then we have the trunk or the luggage compartment. So your fuel tank is normally placed in your trunk or luggage compartment. It is furthest from your engine compartment. There is a reason for placing the fuel at a distance from your engine. Okay. Now the fuel is coming from your fuel tank, and that is in your trunk or the luggage compartment. From fuel tank, we have a fuel pump which takes the fuel from the fuel tank and pump it to the. Here we have some coarse filter. From that coarse filter, fuel is coming to the fuel pump. Then we have a fine fuel filter, and from that fine fuel filter, we is going to the carburetor. In this vehicle or in this chart, I am talking about the conventional old vehicle which we are using carburetor. Okay, so the fuel path is like this. Fuel from fuel tank coming towards the fuel pump, from fuel pump to the fuel filter, and from fuel filter it goes to the carburetor. And then there is a overflow pipe or backflow pipe. And now air from the atmosphere is coming in to the air filter. From air filter, it is coming to the throttle body, and that from throttle wall body, it is coming to the carburetor. So here, fuel is coming, air is coming. The air fuel mixture is mixing in. From that mixing of air fuel mixture, it is going to the intake manifold, which we have studied. Now let's see this portion here. When you sit in the vehicle, you switch on the ignition. So what you do, you basically turn your key and you switch on your ignition, which takes the power from the battery, and that battery starts. The flow of the current goes to the starter motor. Starter motor is having a pinion on its output end. That motor drives that pinion, and that pinion is linked with your engine flywheel. And that pinion drives the engine flywheel, and that flywheels drive the crankshaft. And that crankshaft, when it moves the piston inside the combustion chamber. But here, when we switch on the ignition, the current goes from battery to ignition, and from battery to your ignition coil. And from that ignition coil, it goes to the distributor cap. Here in ignition coil, it's is amplified, and then amplified current and voltage goes to the distributor, and from that distributor mechanism it goes to the spark plug. And we will, in our next chapters, we will study how much current or voltage we get on the spark plug, and that spark plug on the respective combustion cylinder will give the spark to that spark plug, and then your crankshaft is moving, your air fuel mixture is coming. So this how the process starts. Now let's see, from this portion you are getting the air fuel mixture from that carburetor coming into the intake manifold, and it is right at the inlet valves. Now you switch on the ignition switch. It starts the starter motor, which in turn drives the flywheel, and then at the end, the crankshaft starts moving, the piston starts moving, and we have the combustion, all the four stroke. It's a first four stroke, then we have a four stroke here. If this are two strokes, then two strokes here. The combustion process is happening here. and then the power goes to the crankshaft, and from that crankshaft it goes to the flywheel, and then from that flywheel it goes to the clutch or the torque converter, and from that torque converter it goes to the gearbox and differential, and then to the wheels. But the exhaust gases from here, it goes to the exhaust manifold, and exhaust manifold, then we have a catalytic converter. It is optional. In some vehicle we have, in some vehicle we don't have, but more in all the modern vehicles we have this catalytic converter. From this catalytic converter the exhaust gases passes through and then goes to the muffler assembly and then goes to the atmosphere. Or in normal old conventional vehicle, when we do not have this catalytic converter, this exhaust gases goes directly to the exhaust muffler, and from that muffler it goes to the atmosphere. So this is how the fuel and the air going into the combustion chamber and the electronic. This alternator is basically is there to charge this battery. Okay. There are few more other components here which I have not intentionally placed just to ease you that how simply to simplify the system which is working in your vehicle. This how the working is done here. Now, up till here, we have studied all these mechanism and the basic terminologies, what is going on here, and some few words about here. Now, we will study in our next chapter what the air is doing inside and what the fuel is doing inside and what is happening inside the combustion chamber. So with this, we comes to the end of the chapter 5. Thank you very much for hearing me out.